Such an interesting topic, Kinsey, and you have a good start here. You have lots of really terrific ideas being culminated, and this idea of eco gentrification. It's a lot of people just don't think about it, right? And what I found really compelling was the vicious cycle that you're referring to. How green spaces increase the value of property, and therefore it tends to push out the very people that it potentially could have intended to serve. And then I like the fact that you're spending quite a bit of time on solutions, right? Ways that urban planners have been trying to tackle this problem, figure it out, and that of course could be investigated further, right? One place I think we could really use some data is you mentioned how parks, and green space in general for recreation really helps physical and mental health. Um, and right now, that is acting as a warrant um, without backing. And I think that it would be great if you have some backing there. And what I mean by that is, if that indeed is the case, what is the current situation with low income residents in America? What is their health index, both physically and mentally, compared to people of more privileged means, right? And then, of course, also making sure that the data is really explicit about um, what is the access to green space within low and high income communities as well. I know that changes because of, like you're referring to, environmental gentrification. So I understand that number can possibly fluctuate, but getting the data on that, but even more so getting the data on what is the physical and mental health index for low income people versus privileged people is a great way to begin to start associating the green space with the corresponding mental health. I think that's important. Also, since you are working on solutions quite a bit in the paper, frame your intro so that it doesn't seem to be just about witness, but is indeed also about um, the potentiality for solutions, right? Or the reflection of attempting solutions, right? Depending, but just make sure that's reflected a little bit in that intro. Um, and you can even make the intro more dynamic. Maybe bring in something a little bit more circumstantial to open, just depending on your audience. And of course, we did that exercise, and hopefully, maybe that will help. And then, lastly, your second paragraph. It talks about the recreational industry, but I'm not really sure how it's relating specifically to your argument. Um, Even the context of it seems a little off. So maybe if you do have some way of it being important to the considerations for your paper, make sure you frame that in the first couple sentences, just so that we understand. Because right now it seems like it's really kind of far off from the context that you really need for your paper. But that might just be because you haven't framed it in a way that seems to be related. Overall, we have a really good start. So I would say, reflect on my comments and come to our conference um, next week with some questions and some strategies. Let's make this baby stronger. Great job.